It is the end of an era in one football club in North London by one man whom many would describe as a shrewd negotiator, one famous in dealing with big transfers. Other fans in that club would describe him as a financial strategist, one who was capable in stabilizing the finances of that club, and others would describe him as tough operator, one who bullies suitors even in the transfer market. Welcome to ID Talk TV. In this video, I will take you around some of the latest in world football and the big news that happened last night in football. Stay tuned as I take you right in. In my intro, I told you it's the end of an era of one man in the North London. I know some of you that are Arsenal fan definitely will know the part of North London I'm talking about. But those of you who are not will be wondering what happened in North London. Okay, let me take you right in. Take a look at this from the official X handle of Tottenham Hotspur. Check this out. Tottenham Hotspur announces departure of executive chairman Daniel Levy. Fabrizio Romano went on to say, breaking, Tottenham Hotspur have announced departure of executive chairman Daniel Levy. It was announced in Tottenham Hotspur official handle, formerly known as Twitter, that Daniel Levy has left his position as the club chairman. Daniel Levy leaving Tottenham Hotspur have really sparked a lot of news. Some with mixed feeling, and some would describe him as one who actually hold the club to a standstill. But to Daniel Levy, that's not the case, because he felt he has actually left the club or is leaving the club in a very good position. Take a look at Daniel Levy's statement after leaving Tottenham Hotspur. Check this out from Ben Jacob. Tottenham announced Daniel Levy has stepped down from his role as executive chairman after nearly 25 years. Levy, I am incredibly proud of the work I have done together with the executive team and all our employees. We have built this club into a global heavyweight, competing at the highest level. More than that, we have built a community. I was lucky enough to work with some of the greatest people in the sport, from the team of Lily Whitehouse and Hotspur, way to all the players and managers over the years. I wish to thank all the fans that have supported me over the years. It hasn't always been an easy journey, but significant progress has been made. I will continue to support this club passionately. That is the statement released by Daniel Levy after he stepped down from his role as Tottenham Hotspur chief executive chairman. And that statement has actually sparked a lot of reaction. Some with mixed feeling, some happy that he left, and some looking at it that one man who have actually positioned Tottenham Hotspur to the level which they are actually right now has stepped aside for a new era to begin. Now let's take a look at some of the reactions from the fans that follows the statement of Daniel Levy after leaving his role as the chief executive chairman of Tottenham Hotspur. Check some of the reaction that comes out. This person said, Spurs will miss him. Blogs.com said, finally, new squad goes. Another person said, why did he leave? And Prince D went on to say, leadership exit like Levy are framed as milestone, but the truth is clubs don't change overnight. Because someone steps down, fans read emotions and legacy into statement. But the real shift happened in strategy, ownership, and culture, not words. The reaction continued. Rush said, can you sell your shares now too? Pakashi went on to say, Levi's legacy at Tottenham is mixed bag. His business acumen built a world-class stadium and brand, but his cautious transfer strategy often frustrated fans and arguably capped the club's on-pitch success. And this person also went on to say, he did his best. He oversaw the most successful era in Tottenham history. All the best to him. This person also went on to say, this is a bigger win for Tottenham fans than their Europa League trophy. Some fans can be very mean. Pakashi went on to say again, Levi's departure marks the end of an era, but his focus on financial stability over bold squad investment leaves Tottenham trophy cabinet lighter than its global stature suggests. Lots of reaction have actually trailed the departure of the chief executive, talking about Daniel Levy. And in his statement, he said he has built Tottenham Hotspur into a club that is now an heavyweight and has been competing in all fronts. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the statistics of Tottenham Hotspur under the reign of Daniel Levy from when he joined the club to when he has actually left the club. Briefly, we'll look at that. Daniel Levy became Tottenham Hotspur owner or chief executive in 2001. So precisely, he has spent about 24 years and a couple of months, just nearly about 25 years, just as it has been reported. Now, in that span of time, Daniel Levy, like one of the reactions said, he has built his financial status more importantly than the club's trophy cabinet. So his stature as a financial expert is way bigger than what he has achieved personally in the club, than the interest of the fans who actually wants trophy. Now, if you look at the time Daniel Levy took ownership of Tottenham Hotspur from 2001 down to this time, notably, Daniel Levy did not win any Premier League title with Tottenham Hotspur. Daniel Levy, under his ownership or under his reign as the chief executive, Tottenham did not win FA Cup trophy. Under his ownership, Tottenham Hotspur did not win the Champions League. Under his ownership, Tottenham Hotspur did not win the Conference League. But notable performance have been seen, or achievement have been seen over his time as Tottenham owner. Under Daniel Levy, Tottenham Hotspur won 2 major trophies. They won the League Cup, formerly known as the Carabao Cup, in 2008 when they defeated Chelsea in the final in Wembley after extra time by 2-1. That was the first major trophy Tottenham Hotspur actually won under Daniel Levy. And in 2025, this year, May precisely, they defeated Manchester United in the Europa League by 1-0 to lift the Europa Trophy, which eventually qualifies them to the 2025-2026 UEFA Champions League season. And this will be the 7th time Tottenham Hotspur will be playing in the UEFA Champions League. Tottenham Hotspur have actually had notable runs in the UEFA Champions League. Their best run being 2018-2019, when they made it all the way to the final, and they lost that final under Mauricio Pochettino to Liverpool by 2-0. Another performance they had was in 2010-2011 precisely, still under Mauricio Pochettino, 2010-2011, when they made it all the way to the quarter-final, defeating AC Milan in the round of 16 and Inter Milan in the quarter-final. Notably in that period was the famous Gareth Bale hat-trick that actually put off Tottenham, that actually saw off Inter Milan in that competition. So that has been Tottenham Hotspur 2 best appearances in the UEFA Champions League. In 2018-2019, when they made it to the final and lost the final under Mauricio Pochettino, and also in 2010-2011 season under Harry Redknapp, when they made it to the quarter final. So, in the League Cup, which they actually had a success in 2008. After that, it looks like Tottenham Hotspur were becoming the League Cup specialists. They have went on to lost several finals of the League Cup. In 2002, they lost the League Cup final, being the defending champion going into that competition. They lost the League Cup final to Blackburn Rovers. In 2009, they were in the final again in the League Cup, and they lost that League Cup final to Manchester United. In 2015, they were in the League Cup final again, which this time around they lost that to Chelsea Football Club. And in 2021, they also made it to the League Cup final, which they actually lost to Manchester City. So, under Daniel Levy, Tottenham Hotspur have actually had 2 major trophies. The Carabao Cup, which they actually won, and the Europa League, which also they won in 2025. So, Daniel Levy saying he has actually made Tottenham Hotspur to become the heavyweight in world football. I want to understand, make me understand, in what sense? Is it on the rivalry between Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal? Because as it stands at the moment, I don't know the kind of reaction that Arsenal fans will be having. Whether they will be happy that Daniel Levy has left, or they will be having that mixed feeling, waiting to see who the next ownership of Tottenham Hotspur will be. We'll definitely put an eye, or keep an eye on that to see who the next owner of Tottenham Football Club will be. But in my assessment, Daniel Levy, after 25 years, have not actually had it good. Him saying he has built Tottenham Hotspur to be heavyweight, I really don't get in what sense he actually did that. For 25 years, all Daniel Levy was known for, or has been known for, is his financial strategies, his strategy, trying to position the club to gain financial stability. And he forgot that there are fans who are also hungry for silverware, and that was never a priority for Daniel Levy. So, the big question now is, was Daniel Levy's financial success was all that Tottenham Hotspur actually wanted, or the way he has positioned the club to gain financial stability was turned out to be the achievement Tottenham Hotspur have actually had over his reign in the last 25 years? What do you make of that, of Daniel Levy's reign in Tottenham Hotspur during his time? Drop your comment down below. Let the conversation continue from there. So, generally, Daniel Levy has stepped aside as the CEO and Chief Executive of Tottenham Hotspur. This will begin a new era, and we'll wait to see who the next chairman of Tottenham Hotspur is going to be. Okay, let's switch gear and take a look at some of the happenings also in football. Check this out from the touchline. New, Ange Postecoglou is emerging as an option for both Bayer Leverkusen and Fenerbahce, who are looking for a new head coach. Ange Postecoglou, that was sacked by Tottenham Hotspur after last season. That's the man who actually gave Tottenham Hotspur the Europa League trophy, which Tottenham are actually parading as the Europa League champion. It was actually won by Ange Postecoglou. And having had a very terrible season in 2024-2025 league season, he was shown the exit by Tottenham Hotspur. And now he is the man that Bayer Leverkusen and Fenerbahce are actually looking for. For Fenerbahce, I really don't get it. You have an Jose Mourinho, you sack Jose Mourinho, and you are going for Ange Postecoglou. No disrespect for Ange Postecoglou. I'm not disrespecting him. But Jose Mourinho is still a better manager. For the fact that Jose Mourinho failed to qualify Fenerbahce for the Champions League, having been knocked out by Benfica, I think they should have given him that time again to actually see what he will actually bring out of the team, if he will qualify them for Champions League next season. So I went on to see the sack of Jose Mourinho by Fenerbahce as a one-way traffic for Galatasaray to actually lift the Turkish Super League this season again. Because if you are bringing in Ange Postecoglou, I don't see him competing against Galatasaray for the title. And that will still mean Fenerbahce is still going to go through the UEFA Champions League route. But we're going to see how that will play out in the future, if it will emerge as the favorite for Fenerbahce. Check this out. Ange Postecoglou is the candidate to become Bayer Leverkusen's new manager. Other options are being discussed, and the final decision will be made this weekend at the latest. So it's becoming crystal clear that Bayer Leverkusen actually want Ange Postecoglou and to be the next manager of the club after they fired former Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag. So reports have actually come out why Erik ten Hag was fired from Bayer Leverkusen after just 2 rounds of the Bundesliga. Now, let's take a look at some of the reasons why Erik ten Hag was fired by Bayer Leverkusen, and why I feel Manchester United as a football club kept Erik ten Hag for too long, knowing fully well that he was not giving the club what they needed. Take a look at this report. Breaking. A full breakdown has been released on why Erik ten Hag got sacked. 1. He did not get along with anyone at the club, not even his own staff that he brought to Germany himself. 2. He interfered with the planning and only proposed players from his own agency. 3. The players did not understand why doing push-up was just as important as ball work. 4. The atmosphere within the club was extremely cold. 5. The players had no idea what they had to do during matches. 6. The club wanted to sack him much earlier and believed they took too long. And finally, he is now considered the worst coach in their club history. We waited for a report like this from Manchester United, who actually gave him much of time, but such report never really come out. And Bayer Leverkusen are here saying they wanted to sack him much earlier, but they actually take too long before he was fired. I am not surprised personally, because I actually saw this coming. I saw it coming in their preseason, though a lot of people might argue it's just preseason, when they were defeated 5-0 by Botafogo, a Brazilian club, in a friendly match. And sincerely, the players actually look clueless as one of the reasons given here, that the players don't know what to do during matches. That is how clueless Erik ten Hag was at Bayer Leverkusen. And it leaves me with the question, was Manchester United not seeing all of these reasons that led to the sack of Erik ten Hag in just about a month in Bayer Leverkusen? Because it's really, I mean, that is just the best decision a club could take before the season becomes too worst. Yes, Bayer Leverkusen did the right thing by firing Erik ten Hag, and that will actually get their season together in good shape before it becomes too late. So, what do you make of all the latest happening? What do you make of the situation of the departure of Daniel Levy from Tottenham Hotspur? And what do you make of Ante Postecoglou, who is going to be replacing Erik ten Hag at Bayer Leverkusen? And also, what do you make of all the reasons given by Bayer Leverkusen why Erik ten Hag was sacked? Are they right or they are wrong? Drop your comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Catch you in the next video, and bye.